My name is Lucas Grimsley. I am an adjunct professor at Azusa Pacific University. I teach New Testament general ed courses, and I'm also an archaeologist that works on Cyprus. My advisor in my PhD project had worked on Cyprus in the 1980s, specifically here at Kourion, and he got a permit to come back to work at Kourion in 2012. In the process of receiving the permit, he wanted to answer some questions that initially were left either unanswered or only partially answered in the 80s. One of those questions was looking at the transition between classical or pagan worship of the Greco-Roman deities to the worship and veneration of the Christian deity Christ. Barnabas was one of the large figures who ministered across the island. We know that in Acts, Paul traveled throughout the island and they ministered to all the major urban cities. The question is, between the 1st century and the 5th century, how did Christianity develop? How did the individuals within the sites view and express themselves as being Christian versus non-Christian or Roman? That first season, traveling throughout the island, working at the site, experiencing the culture of Cyprus, I couldn't imagine working anywhere else. From there on, I've been a part of the Kourion Urban Space Project now for 8 years. My part in the project here is to examine the architectural remains, the layout of this building that we call Building 4, and then also the material that is used to build the structure and the type of construction methods that are used. As a Christian, sometimes I have to look at my perspectives on Christianity and say, okay, how does this impact my faith or my belief, and what are the consequences? I have found more often than not that the material in many ways will support the history of Christianity, will support my faith in ways, but I have to be willing to flex my personal perspective. In doing that, I found that there's a complementary component between my faith and archaeology. As I teach a Bible class at APU, and as I am integrating archaeology, I have to be aware of the fact that there are traditions and perspectives and beliefs that vary from person to person. What I hope to accomplish in the class is to kind of provide a perspective that, despite the differences that there may be within Christianity from culture to culture, we do have a strong heritage, and there is support archaeologically for Christianity and for faith. And so I just want students to be comfortable with that, and I want them to recognize how to approach archaeology in connection to their faith.